Hello everyone, I'm Dan the Man. Well, the Hive had a great chance to take out one of level 6 and help their numbers, but as we saw, it wasn't meant to be. Due in part to bad luck with the hacker comp, and in another part to Rockstar blowing their chance to step up, twice, in the same competition. So with that in mind, on to my thoughts on this week's Big Brother. First off, as we saw last week, Hayleigh won the Head of Household competition to huge applause from the audience. That's quite a long way from someone who less than a month ago was getting the crap at because fans didn't care about her. Hayleigh set to her plan to backdoor Tyler. In this case, it was the wrong move, as had she put him up right away, he wouldn't have been able to use the app. Although don't buy into the editor's spin on how things went. Tyler was always the backdoor plan. Hayleigh was never going to initially put him up. Tyler did not convince her to do it through some great power of the mist that they're trying to convince us is there, but really isn't. Hayleigh was always going to put him up as a backdoor. It was not Tyler's great gameplay that got him as the backdoor plan. Either way, though, Tyler did not initially go up as a nominee, and had he remained vulnerable during the veto ceremony, he would have used the cloud. Even so, Hayleigh still would have taken out either Kaycee or Angela, thus hurting the dominant alliance, even if she didn't realize that was what she would have done. But as we saw, what Hayleigh wanted, or even her backup plan, were not meant to be, as everything that could go wrong for her and the Hive did. First off, we had the hacker competition, and Kaycee won it. Not a huge surprise, she did good in the hacker competition last week, so while it was a different competition, it was close enough that her skill set seems to have carried over, and Kaycee won. She then wisely used it to take herself down and put up Rockstar. Many said putting her up was playing it safe, unlike Hayleigh, who tried to change the game with her nomination. But given where Kaycee was in the game, that was the obvious choice. Yeah, she could have used her nominee to put a bigger threat, but the biggest threats to win were all in her alliance, so that would have not been a logical game move when level 6 only has one person more than the Hive. Now obviously Fessy is a bigger game threat in the Hive than Rockstar, but he also had a better chance of winning the veto. Yes, it would have been a ballsier move, but the safer move is often the better game move. It makes less interesting TV, but that doesn't mean it's the wrong move in terms of actually trying to win. So Rockstar went up, and the Hive knew they were in trouble, as like level 6 last week, they stood to possibly lose a member on a week when one of them was head of household. They did catch a break in the veto competition, however, as Fessy's name was pulled, so their entire alliance was playing. It turned out to be a Big Brother classic, and one of my favorites, Otev. Which, by the way, is veto spelled backwards, since odds are at least a few of you hadn't realized that. Took me a while to catch on to that one too. It seemed like a bad break for the Hive, as they were not the more athletic alliance in the house, but they end up doing good, taking out Kaycee and Angela in the first 2 rounds, and leaving Tyler alone to take on the remainder of the Hive. But then, Rockstar went and blew it. Hard. First off, when it was down to Rockstar, Hayleigh, and Tyler, he got up to the platform first, but he had the wrong answer. That would have gotten him out of the competition, but Rockstar decided to compare answers with Tyler, and oops, Tyler realized he had the wrong answer. He then went back up and found the right answer before Hayleigh did, and thus kept himself in the game, thanks to Rockstar. Rockstar seemed like she was going to redeem herself in the final round, as she actually got up to the platform first and could have really scored some major game points, beating the entire group with Otev of all comps. But then, she blew it again and got the wrong answer. Although to be fair, I thought that was the answer too when I first heard the question. And just like that, Tyler won the veto competition, leaving both Rockstar on the block and Tyler unable to be a replacement nominee. Not that he was going to be backdoored anyway, but it definitely is better for his game if he doesn't actually use the cloud, as whoever goes home in his place in that scenario could hold it against him, especially in jury. Now, I'm not too big on Tyler, and I would love to see him get a shot to his ego by losing that competition to Rockstar of all people, but she really has no one to blame but herself for Tyler winning that one. She gave him the answer when he would have lost otherwise, and then blew the final round by getting the wrong answer herself. She'll never own it, but it was her own fault Tyler won that competition. They didn't show it on the episode, but the Hive did make an attempt to get Tyler to use the veto to take down Rockstar. In my opinion, the best way that the Hive could have gone about trying to keep the 3 of them together wasn't to try to sell Tyler on taking out Rockstar. It was trying to sell him on the idea that if they put up Sam in Angela's place, would everyone vote her out? A lot of people are getting sick of Sam, and I honestly don't blame them. And while it's a long shot, I think if they'd have agreed to keep Rockstar up there but put up Sam and have everyone vote her out, level 6 just might have gone for it. Might have. Definitely a better chance of getting Tyler to take down Rockstar. Unfortunately, the Hive, and to be fair, the rest of the house, doesn't realize what's actually going on with level 6. So they went about it all the wrong way, and Tyler ended up taking down Angela and they put Kaycee back up instead. Kaycee even signed off on letting Tyler take down Angela and put her up instead. That was a great move for Tyler, as it helped him strengthen his bond with Angela by repaying her for taking him down last week. Didn't really help Kaycee much, but she pretty much does everything Tyler says, so it's not surprising she agreed to that anyway. I'm not sure if I agree with Tyler's speech while giving the veto, though. Yeah, his reasoning was sound, but it came off like he was twisting the knife and rubbing it in before killing Hayleigh's hope. It is where level 6 in my mind keeps messing up. They constantly twist the knife and try to tick off people as much as possible while blindsiding them and voting people out. Some would argue they do it with have it coming, and it is somewhat true, although they were way out of line with poor Rachel, who did not deserve any of that. But she's not a jury anyway. But they're constantly wanting to kick people when they're down for their own amusement is horrible jury management. Yes, if 2 members of level 6 make it to final 2 together, then it may not matter. Everyone's going to have to vote for someone. But if they continue to kick people as hard as they possibly can while they are down, and one of them is in the final 2 with someone not in level 6, which is a real possibility considering how few comps anyone besides Tyler has won in that alliance, then they're likely handing the other person the game. Before getting to the vote, I want to real quickly touch up on the Sam thing. Specifically, her endless whining and crying about how hard the game is, how she wants to give up, how she can't handle this because she is so kind and never wants to tear anyone down. Try telling that last one to Kaitlyn and Hayleigh and see if they think that's the case, and how she hates all these people. I can't help but mirror Kaycee and Angela's sentiments. I'm over it. I don't know if this is strategy or not. She says she hates them all and wants to go, but I don't see her ever begging to go on the block. But it's been my experience, if you assume idiocy is actually brilliant strategy in disguise, you're almost always going to be disappointed. Sam's main problem, in my opinion, is that she tried to be something other than herself for the cameras, as much as like what Polly tried to be in Big Brother 17, and like Polly, the stress of that is catching up with her. Sam wants you to think she's a kind, gentle soul. She'll tell you that over and over again. And I admit I don't know her, but people who generally want everyone to get along, never want to be mean, and don't want to see people hurt, don't then stand 2 people up on national TV in front of cameras and imply that they're whores. Then, despite claiming it was done with the attempt to get them to see they need to better themselves, passive-aggressively shut down their attempts to talk about it. People have compared her to Donnie, Chicken George, and Bunky, and are supposedly being genuine and kind, but did you ever see those people call anyone a whore in front of the whole house? No, you didn't. And for that matter, they didn't repeat every damn conversation how kind and genuine they are. Kind people show how kind they are not by saying over and over that they are kind, but by actually showing kindness. Then people see it through saying kindness. Sam is way more phony than some want to believe about her, and I think she's feeling the weight of trying to put on that act for the cameras. So with that out of the way, on to the nominations. As we saw, the eviction happened, and to no one's surprise, Rockstar went home. Well, except maybe to the Hive's surprise, but what else is new? Even they weren't completely sure this time that they had the votes. Kaycee made a sad attempt to be like Brett that was more desperate than clever, and Brett and Angela went for the jugular in their goodbye messages. And I at this point decided level 6 must think that Big Brother's going to pull random people off the street, and they're going to vote for who the winner is. Sam and Scottie's votes were somewhat up in the air before the feeds. Sam knew Rockstar was not staying, but some thought she might give a sympathy vote. She didn't. Scottie seemed last week to have flipped, but with Bayleigh not around, Hay seems to have gotten him back on board, and he did vote to keep Rockstar, even though I think he knew she probably wasn't staying. So, was Rockstar the right choice? Well, for level 6, obviously, is the alternative was for one of their own, and it didn't make sense for any of them to turn on their alliance at this point. For everyone else, no. She was not the right choice. A lot of fans are giving grief to the Hive for not catching on to level 6, and while they don't see what we see, it still seems they should suspect something is going on by now, more than they figured out, and it took them this long to get that far. But JC, Scottie, and Sam are just as clueless to that alliance running that side of the house, and they spend more time with them than the Hive does. JC and Sam are digging their own grave by constantly helping level 6 get rid of the Hive members. Scottie seems to somewhat see it, but even he seems to think he's in a better position with them than he actually is. It's possible that sooner or later, Tyler and Kaycee will gather one of them up and take out Brett and Angela, but with Angela seeming to be all in with Tyler, I don't even think that's going to happen anymore. JC, Sam, and Scottie are playing for 5th place right now, especially JC, who's been huge in helping them get the numbers down, which will be used to take him out real soon. They should have rallied together and forced a tie so Hayleigh could take out Kaycee. It would have been better for their games to turn level 6 into level 3, even if they didn't want to work with the Hive. But they don't see what's really going on any more than the Hive did, so that didn't happen. With Rockstar gone and left to a future of hateful goodbye messages in a jury house where she and Bayleigh can badmouth Brett, Tyler, and Angela, the head of household happened. The show ended before a new head of household was crowned, but as always, I know what happened. So if you don't want to know, stop now. Really, stop now. Last chance. Fessy won the head of household, and he did it in under a half hour at that, which was unexpected by everyone, especially Big Brother. Reportedly, that left CBS pissed, as Endurance Cops helped with feeds getting new subs and views to the feeds, and they helped ratings on After Dark, which none of that really happened since it was over before anyone even had a chance to create a new account for the feeds. Can't help but love Fessy threw a wrench into production's plans, though. This is a big chance for Fessy and Hayleigh, even if they don't realize how big it is. They have to have figured out finally that Ty and the others are working together against them, but they don't seem to know the full extent of what's going on, so they better hope, either by accident or design, someone from level 6 goes home, or they're likely doomed next week, barring a win by Hayleigh. And she's not exactly a comp beast, so I wouldn't want to bake all my hopes on that happening. Either way, I'll be back next week for my thought on whatever they do and any other craziness that goes down. And with this cast, there will likely be a lot of craziness going down. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Dan the Man, and I'll see you next time.